Everybody, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and today I'm just going to explain this diagram of why you can manifest anything that you desire. You see, typically, when we are thinking or we have a self-concept about ourselves, that self-concept usually starts off, because you are unconscious at some point, right? Starts off with you believing that you are this three-dimensional figure within the frame or larger reality that you exist in. We think we are this frame with this person. And then we try to manifest something. We try to bring something from whatever outside we are considering into our reality. You want a car. You're trying to yank the car into the frame. You want a specific person. You're trying to yank the specific person into the frame. Here's the thing, whatever individualized frame of reality that you are experiencing in any given moment, literally cannot exist in that frame. Because whatever is in that frame right now is just in that specific frame. It doesn't matter. I can't hold this black pen in a frame where I'm not holding it. It's as simple as that. So the frame where I'm not holding it or I am holding it, both simultaneously exist. So the typical misunderstanding is that I am not holding the black pen exists. No, the experiencing of I am not holding the black pen exists. As in, I am not experiencing my specific person, my specific car, my specific whatever in that frame of reality. And the more you identify with that person there, the more you don't hold the black pen in your hand. Why? Because you are not that physical identity. You are that. This is this infinite beingness that knows and has created all the frames of reality and have combined them in an infinite number of ways for its own experiencing. It's not for that identity in the frame to be experiencing anything. It's for that. It's for this. It's like, oh, but what about them? No, this thing doesn't even exist. The character doesn't exist. You watch a movie and you're watching the existence of a character from start to finish. But here's the thing, you really know how movies are made, you know that the character only exists frame to frame to frame. They don't actually exist. Sometimes when they shoot a movie over a year, the first scene is the one that they shot last. So he's actually older in the beginning than he was in the ending. It's just editing that makes you believe otherwise. You know this, but you don't pay attention to this stuff because we're so focused on being that identity. That's what reality is doing. That's why some people appear younger even though you know that they're 10 years older than you. Why? Because they're having a different experience of reality. But here's the thing. You are this, right? You are this, but this has created an individualized experiencing of reality from every unique point of view. You are a unique point of view, having a unique point of view through your physically unique point of view. So you're actually that consciousness, right? You are, and just a disclaimer here, this is an example to explain the thing, right? The reality doesn't necessarily look like this, but this is something that reality has concocted on its own to create it, and I'm just explaining it as this version of myself as well, right? So I'm also part of this. That's who you are, the focusing of reality as reality, right? This is no less than that. It created itself equally into all of these individualized experiences of I am reality. Each one of these things is the consciousness that we are, right? We are individually having our own little world, our own little creation of the world. But then why do we see others in that world? Because the worlds are not actually separate, they're all one happening. So even though there is one world happening, one happening of reality, one nowness of reality, the way it is set up is that in every single frame, those frames can go out into any other frame infinitely. But every single point of view is being viewed by a unique, specialized version of I am awareness for its own experiencing as that great I am awareness. But the only thing you are ever doing is shifting your specific focus onto another version of reality that you desire to be experiencing right now. It simply exists. So when you shift, like you are here, right? Your physical self is here and you're seeing another physical self. As awareness, you know you are seeing as this identity. So you know you are the awareness seeing as that identity. When you see another physical version, what's happening is your own I am awareness, which is the same I am awareness as anyone else's, it's exactly the same, it is the same I am awareness, is creating the illusion of another version of a person who is reflecting you in that moment. That's just reflecting you from your own awareness. But from that point, from that person's point of view, they also have their own individualized consciousness that exists infinitely from that point. But you don't see what they exist as infinitely because they have nothing to do with you. It only has to do with you as your own specialized point of view. So it's only ever your point of view that is required for your own free will to be exercised, because you can't change any infinite way their own I am awareness decides to go, because it's already going into all of those simultaneously anyway. Just like you, anyway you don't go, anyway you don't light up, is being lit up by another version of your own I am awareness, because your awareness is being everything. And these frames here are nothing more than frames you can physically experience, but you are the creator of everything in the frame as well. So whenever you are seeing someone, understand that you are seeing a reflection of your own I am awareness, but you are also seeing a point of view that your own I am awareness is experiencing and is simultaneously choosing from that point of view to go off elsewhere. One of those choices, if it's a specific person, is choosing you as its own free will of choice. You are just choosing the version of you who is experiencing your free will, choosing them. You see, the choices are already made. The version of you physically that freely chooses them, and the version of them physically that freely chooses you, already exists. But from it's your point of view that matters to see it. Their point of view, it already exists. It exists infinitely. But what point of view are you choosing to see? Hope that makes sense, right? And here's the thing, you can see any point of view that you like, and you can see any point of view that you don't even like. Somebody messaged me about a point of view where the specific person stopped talking to them, blocked them, and is moving away. That is one version of reality. And she wants to know what she has to do. Nothing. Because that version who is experiencing them is only coming from your own I am awareness. You are being aware of a version of you who is experiencing a version of them who is going away and has blocked them. As that I am awareness, you have a choice here to continue seeing it, or to shift your focus onto a version of reality that you prefer, that I am loved, I am chosen, and no matter what's going on, I am who I say I am. Because that version of you and that person are still married here. So you shift your focus onto being that, and you let this play out, because that version of reality simultaneously played out with them moving, because Source wants to experience them blocking you, playing out and going from that specific point of view, but it's also choosing from that point of view a version of reality, a version of unfolding of them, another version of them that didn't choose, that perhaps went or didn't go, it doesn't matter, I have no idea how it unfolds, a version of them who also freely chose you, and that's what's being reflected as it unfolds. So they could go, but it's still part of the choosing of you. They can still go, but it's still part of the choosing, because you choose to see reality in the way you desire, which is you and them married. So even if they go, it doesn't matter, because part of the choices of them coming back into your awareness as another version of them, as you are reflecting that version, must be part of that unfolding now, because it just exists. And here's where people get tripped up. When you shift here, as this shifting here, you must understand is that every single moment, an infinite number of moments from this frame to that frame that you have called forth as an imaginational experience, every single frame that you can conceive of, and you can't conceive of it all because it's impossible, exists in between for your experiencing. What you are saying, how long till it gets there, is basically saying how many frames of unfolding does my own I am awareness have to get me from that frame where I am experiencing a version of myself and a version of them blocking me, to get to the version of experiencing of myself and the version of them who is married to me. How many frames are there? how long will it take? There can be an infinite number of frames because there are an infinite number of frames. So there is a potential reality, because if everything is infinite, that it never happens because you keep experiencing the frame of it continuously not happening. So what then do you do? Drop the how altogether, because the only thing that this is experiencing is who? As awareness, because it doesn't care whether something is physical or not for it to be experiencing it, for it to have called it. You are here to physically experience. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't care how it is experiencing something, because it is everything anyway. So yes, you want the physical experience, sure, amazing, perfect, and that is perfect. But when you shift your awareness into physically experiencing it, because that's what you're doing when you shift your awareness and you experience it and you feel it physically, you are feeling it. You are now that identity. You are that identity right here. And that's what the reflection is unfolding. It might look the same, but you have shifted here, and it is shifting from that frame into that frame. No one manifested in 3D reality or otherwise can tell you how many frames there are of your unfolding of reality when you have shifted from here to there in the unfolding, because you have just shifted from here to there, and that script is written. From that very frame that you are experiencing to the frame that you have experienced within, the script is written. All scripts are written. So from any single point, any other point must be able to be gotten to. That script must just exist. How that script exists, no idea. Why? Because I'm also just a physical character. My physical character has no idea. But I know that as awareness, the script is written. That's about as far as I do know. So when you ask how, there is no how. When you ask when, there literally isn't a when. It's all just existing. So that and that exist at the same time. There's no when. There's only who. Who are you? I am choosing to be that version of myself who experiences. I know that. That's who I am. That's who I am assuming I am. The assumption is actually that forward momentum trigger, because you just start walking in that assumption that I am who I am. We kind of need a little resistance to actually start walking in that direction, because we feel as if we are just floating in thin air sometimes, not knowing that we are going in that direction. So resistance is kind of good, because you know you're going in that direction when you feel a little bit resistance to it. So, remember, each individualized experiencing of reality is whatever you're looking at going off into its own infinity through its own free will, but you are choosing via your own free will, what you are experiencing as reality, because it already exists. Again, this is just an example of a diagram that I came up with, well, kind of came to me, I guess, right? And in reality, is actually going into itself, right? It's all going into itself. I just drew it like that so we can all have a nice visual, but always always know that your point is to see it all as one cohesive, beautiful, chaotic, infinite, intelligent mess. But it's not really a mess, right? It knows what it's doing. We are just trying to work out what it is we must do. But in reality, this we is that we, and it can't do anything because it is the last step. It is the last thing that happens. It is the end of the road here. This 3D experiencing is the end of the road. Every single frame is the end of the road, and it's collapsing and dying at the same time, being as it's created. Literally can't do anything. It's like you're watching a TV. It's like you're watching something on TV and saying, "How can I change that character because I don't like the shirt he's wearing?" It's already written. It's done. You can go edit it, but you'll know forever and ever and ever the version of him was wearing a black shirt. Oh, whatever, doesn't matter, right? And there's no, even though he's wearing a black shirt, your preference is that he was wearing a white shirt. And he is, in your imagination, in your awareness, and then how it unfolds, because you identify with that, is up to that. Not me, not you, not anyone. Whew. So, that was fun. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you understood. I keep saying hope. Fascinating word, huh? It's a fascinating word that your 3D self likes to say the word hope. So that was powerful. That was enlightening. That was wonderful. That was me being very, very, very grateful that you guys are all here watching this, especially the last few comments on the videos. I really appreciate it very much. Thank you for the love, truly. Love and light to you all. TikTok page, Facebook page, if you want to join the community and post your own things, ask questions, offer advice to others that you may understand yourself, or ask for advice that you may want to know, right? Other forms of content pop up there as well. That being said, love and light. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, following, etc., etc., etc. And I will see you all in the next one.